it's funny. It's funny how the pro-life people generally love guns too.
Oh, the pro life.
The pro-lifers are also Second Amendment folks.
Yeah, I mean, but like they're not.
Wait a
Then
second.
like they're
What's
in it to defend
which amendment are we
themselves.
talking? I can make sure we get my amendments right. Is Second Amendment right to bear arms, or is that freedom of speech?
It might be freedom of speech.
Typically, it's pro-life, freedom of speech, right to bear arms. They're all about those
Yeah.
three
But I mean,
things.
like them saying the right to bear arms is like they want the right to defend themselves. They want the right to where if you run up on my front lawn talking crazy, I get to blow you down. That's it. That's all.
But
Like it's not.
oddly, you all these. I mean, like it's funny how like you, as if you were a liberal person, if you were
Mhm.
a progressive person, you why argue against having the right to defend yourself? I mean, it doesn't make any sense, right? Yes, weapons like that can hurt people,
Yeah.
right? But wouldn't you, would you give up your own life to have? I mean, like, because think about it. If you could have had one, let's say you run into a situation where you really needed one, right? But because of the way the laws are, you couldn't have one. Period.
Hmm.
Okay, no law-abiding person could get one.
Right.
Just imagine that. Let's say that they're able to effectively ban firearms. Okay,
Hmm.
to make it's illegal to buy them.
Right.
Right. So that's not going to stop certain people from getting them.
No, there's always when there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, and the only way to stop people from having firearms is to not have firearms exist. Right. I mean, like try to find a program to destroy all the firearms in the world. It ain't gonna happen. I mean, like
No, not gonna. I wouldn't want it to happen. I'm like, I'm not really a gun person myself. I don't own a gun, but like, and like when I hear certain stories of why people have guns,
mhm.
like I was telling you about Nick Irvin, they called him the Grim Reaper. He was an
Yeah,
army sniper.
yeah,
So he gets interviewed a lot now. Anytime gun violence happens, they interview Nick, and he actually has very very good stances on things. Right? He has said something recently where he was like, I'm always armed. Like he lives in Texas. He was like, I'm always armed.
yeah,
And he was like, my lady is always armed. If we go somewhere, I keep a pistol on me because I'm just trying to get back to my AR, which is in the car.
hmm
And I'm like, what kind of situation are you gonna be in where you gotta shoot it out with somebody
dude.
to get back to your AR-15?
You'd be surprised.
Huh?
You'd be surprised. Okay, so when we ran teams in the Philippines, right?
Uh,
Um, okay, so a
yeah.
pistol is it's not your primary weapon. It is not
Yeah,
your primary.
that's what he was saying. It's not my. I'm just using this to get to my primary
Yeah.
weapon.
See, the reason why it's not your primary weapon is because okay, so Raymond, you haven't spent a lot of time with firearms, right?
No.
Hitting something with a pistol is not easy. So people watch John Wick and like, this guy's dumping like tons of rounds and everything's hitting, right?
Yeah.
It's not like that. And yeah, Keanu Reeves has practice. So we've seen the videos of him at the practice range and he spent a lot of time. But the thing is that what he's shooting at is static. He knows where all the targets are. So he's just practicing over and over again with the same setup, right?
Yeah. People move.
Yeah, so that's different. So you can get really good at a single course of fire because if you know where all the targets are and you know the distance, I mean, you can get good at that, right?
Mm,
But hitting something that's firing back at you or that's moving towards you is very difficult with a pistol. It's a
mm,
lot easier with a long arm.
mm,
Really a lot easier with a long arm,
mm,
right? So I was talking to a guy at the range of a day, and he's a former Marine, and he was
mm,
talking about he's a Pendleton, I think it was, and qualifying with an AR, okay, is basically they're hitting targets out at 100+ yards with iron sights. Iron sights means no scope.
oh yeah.
100 yards out, iron sights, human sized.
Mm,
Okay, metal reactive target.
right.
That's what you need to do to qualify with it.
Mm,
Okay, anybody using it in the military has to be able to qualify, right?
mm,
And you can do that with the long arm. You can do it with the rifle. Yes. You
Hmm.
cannot do it with a pistol.
Too far.
Dude, 100 yards out with a pistol, you got to be really, really good. And I'm not talking about a hunting pistol with a really long barrel. I'm talking about your standard defense
9 millimeter.
sidearm. You're not hitting targets. Yeah, if you have 15 rounds to throw out that target, you might hit it 10% of the time, right? But it's not easy to make contact. And that's why you're fighting back to. So when I watch police shows and you get like a couple cops showing up at this, number one, they didn't wait for backup. Then they're gonna go clear a house, right?
Hmm.
And they're doing it with sidearms. It's like, dude, you probably have an AR in the car,
You
or at
should
least
use
a
the AR.
shotgun, right?
Yeah.
Why are you going into this house with a sidearm? Right? You know you have other stuff you can be using. Okay.
Right.
No, they would. I mean, they show up. They're all gonna get, because in the end they want to be able to get home,
Hmm.
right? Why go in there crippling? I mean, like handicapping yourself. You want to get home. Why walk in with your 9 millimeter?
Right.
Right. And so yeah,
Shoot.
so like you said, like the guys got this in the car. So in the Philippines, they're running teams, right? Protective teams. In the convoy, there would be. I mean, like I was pushing for an M4 for every team member.
Hmm.
Right. So in each vehicle, every team member, there's an M4 for that, for everybody. That's
Hmm.
the goal. It's expensive. Okay. But the goal is to have an M4 for everybody. So everybody is carrying 45 autos as their sidearms. Okay, all the
Hmm.
same weapons, so they can exchange magazines. Okay, they're all carrying that as their sidearms. But when things go wrong, they all go to their, and okay, an M4 is it's just a configuration of an AR style weapon.
Yeah.
Right, it's got a folding stock, it's got a shorter barrel, so
Yeah.
it's easier to work inside tight spaces with it,
Hmm.
like within a vehicle. Okay, and so these are protective services. I mean, like, that's they're bodyguards. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's what they're using. And if you're going to defend somebody, you can defend yourself. You're going to defend the principal. You might as well use something that you have a better chance of hitting somebody with.
No, I like I get it when you're like a person like that. Like I get it. Like I like
But remember, like, these guys are prepared for any problem because they encounter problems for a living, right?
right.
But those problems can find you as a regular person,
Hmm.
right? So you never know when you'll need this kind of stuff.
Right.
I mean, like, it could be anything random. I mean, like, you could get into a fender bender with some complete psycho,
Oh
right?
yeah, and then came at me sideways.
Yeah, like, they may not like the way you look. They any random reason in
No,
that
I
could
get what
happen,
you're saying.
right? Or it could be you could just be in a place where somebody else is going, like any of those school shooters, right? Let's
Hmm.
say that there's a school, like it's a school shooter, you're driving, like, and this guy didn't feel like dying in the school. Now he's making a run for it,
Hmm.
right? What if you end up encountering that guy when he's on the run for something?
Oh, and you got to
I mean,
shoot it out with him.
any random thing could happen, right? Anything, it could be, I mean,
I get it because I
so
guess
why not be prepared?
I get it. I guess it's like I don't run into that type of randomness because I look at it like this.
Well, no, you
The- it-
haven't run into that type of randomness. 'Cause remember, it's randomness.
oh no, I understand. I understand randomness, right? But I also believe in how you live your life dictates what type of randomness you're going to run into. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like okay, like I have a cousin, right? Where he just recently caught a gun charge. Where like I would tell him like because remember I'm Mister. I don't run around with guns. I don't have these situations. I'm like man, you know I live my life where I don't have to run into these situations. Well, I do, Ray. You know what I'm saying? And like he broke down a couple situations where it was like having this gun made things a lot easier, and it wasn't like he had to use it. It was just having it gave him a certain sense of security because it could have went left. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get it from a certain like standpoint of like how you live your life. But it like for me, it's just like I don't live my life like that where it's just like if I got into a fender bender, even if the guy is kind of crazy, I always take the high road with it. All right, man. Well, then go. I'll figure it out later if you got a problem with it.
Well,
You know what I'm
remember,
saying? I like it, trust me. I've had a gun pointed in my face. I've been in that situation. I've I was definitely doing something I shouldn't have been doing where I brought that energy across myself. And you know what I did? I I talked the gun out of my face. It's very surprising that I did that. And a lot of people were like, man, those wasn't no real robbers. Well, guess what? They had guns and they tried to rob me. And I talked my way out of it. So it's just like, I just handle my life differently. I get it,
I mean,
but it's just I
but
handle it
okay,
differently.
so we're not talking about robbery. We're talking about random crap. I mean, like there's things that happen you just can't, and it's remember you haven't run across that before. But what I'm
Mhm.
talking about is the possibility of running across it. That's the reason why
Right.
some people carry these things, right?
Yeah, no,
They're
I
not
get it.
looking for trouble, right? The majority of people in America carrying firearms, and we're not talking about people carrying illegally, right? We're talking about people who are following the law where they are and carrying these firearms,
Hmm.
right? Now we live in California. We live in Southern California. There's the chance of us carrying firearms legally is very slim. Okay, there's ways to have them, but you cannot have them on your person.
Hmm.
Okay, to be able to get a concealed carry permit in L.A. County,
Woo!
impossible. Okay, there's
Impossible.
ways to do it. You can get a concealed carry permit in a different county, and it's
Mm,
good for the whole state. So if you qualify in San Bernardino, you can carry in L.A. County.
mm,
Okay, if you qualify in like Eureka, you can carry in L.A. County.
right.
Okay, other counties will possibly give you a permit.
Mm,
Okay, so I'm not talking about carrying illegally, and I'm not talking about carrying because you are looking for situations where you need one.
right.
We're talking about like the way Texans carry,
Right.
right? We're talking about the way that a pastor may carry
I
in
mean, shoot.
Arizona.
In Texas, I used to see people with gun racks on their truck.
Yeah, see, because okay, Texas is different. Texas has two kinds of carry. There is concealed, and then there's open carry.
Mm.
See, Arizona is the same way. Arizona allows open carry. So
Oh.
if you just want to carry a firearm without getting a permit, you can carry it openly.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, a gun rack in the truck is open carry. A firearm on your hip without a covering garment is open carry.
Hmm.
So you can walk around in Texas, in Arizona, I believe it is too, with a firearm on your hip, loaded.
Mm.
Okay, and as long as it's open for people to see, you're legal.
Mm.
And that doesn't mean like if you're carrying it and you're facing away from somebody so it's concealed from their view, still legal because once you turn that direction they see it's not like you're hiding it with something,
Mm.
right? I'm not sure how they stand on severely overweight people carrying their firearms underneath their belly rolls. I don't know. I'm not sure how that goes.
I don't know about that one either.
but so that's one way you can carry it in those states. Another way you can do it is if you want to conceal it, you can apply for a permit. Many
Okay.
states
Like if
allow
I
it.
want to have it in a bag.
Yeah, if you want to have it under a jacket, if you want to
Mm.
have it under a shirt, if you want to have it in a bag, yeah,
Mm.
you can apply for a permit. And in California you can too. But
Right.
it's up to the county to issue it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Okay?
But like to be honest with, well, I mean, it's kind of hard to say because I didn't live in the hood when I was in Texas.
Now
Really lived in a suburb.
remember people who are getting these permits are completely law abiding. You
Yeah,
can't have felonies and be able to get these permits.
yeah. Because I mean, like it. There's practically no gun violence where I was at. I never heard of a gun violence or a gun situation where I was at when I lived there, and I lived there like 4 years. I mean, in
Where?
the hood, you'll hear, huh?
Where's this? In
In
Dallas,
Dallas,
okay.
Texas. Yeah, we was in a suburb called Louisville. Like, never, never had a gun charge, and there was a ghetto of Louisville, and like I never heard of anybody getting shot or killed or anything like that.
Yeah, it's nuts how like it comes back down to I mean like the you have to have a I mean we need firearms laws that allow people to have firearms,
Mm.
because and they talk about that when if firearm ownership is criminalized, right? Only people who will possess firearms are criminals, right? Because
Exactly.
that's what's going to happen. I mean, like, you're setting the country up for a situation where law-abiding people can't defend themselves against people who are armed,
True.
and they think that these laws will prevent criminals from having firearms. Are they on crack?
That's why I don't listen. Like the way I am now, I don't listen to anybody who's like, "Oh, we need to take away the guns." Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, like even just the whole tyrannical government thing, like going back to what we were talking about with
Mm.
Biden, right? That was fascism right there. Remember, we couldn't remember we had to call it the jab.
Oh
It was
yeah,
no
yeah, yeah,
freedom of
yeah, yeah,
speech or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot that was going on that
yeah.
people failed to like realize that was actually fascism.